Yes? What? Coin purse weighing you down? It'd better all be here.
Clive.
If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. Is that all? The stew's awful.
Farmers are abandoning their field. So much for arriving before sunset.
Oh, I didn't realize we were this close. Any idea what that is they built the village around?
The fallen ruin.
Figures up ahead.
But are they friends or foes?
Don't let him see.
You! Not another step!
More were looters. But why? What is it they want?
You're welcome to ask the next ones we meet. Let me know how it goes.
I don't even know what he looks like.
Whatever business you have here, see to it quickly, brother. We are expected at Drake's spine.
Nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
It's a wonder they made it back at all. I heard Odin was there.
The stew's awfully thin these days.
What do you expect?
There's no way of knowing if Doris will...
Can I help you, Sid?
I'm looking for Doris. Is she here?
I'm afraid not. She's at Martha's Rest on a job. My job, actually. When she heard what the mission was, she insisted on going herself. Alone.
Did she? What was the mission?
Following up on some new information. Once they'd settled in, the bearers you helped liberate in the Dragon's Eyrie were keen to talk about their imprisonment. And about their captor.
The slaver Cole's team were tracking when they were attacked by the Beastmen. I'll go and find her. She's at Martha's Rest, you say?
If she's not moved on already, yes. I hope everything's all right.
Why would Doris insist on going alone? Maybe Cole was right to be worried.
How do you split the sea, you reckon?
I reckon we're better off not knowing.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
Please, your grace, stay strong. Ah, my lord Marquis.
Yote.
My lord, yes. It's your brother. His condition continues to worsen, though he does his best to hide it. The lesion on his chest pains him more with each passing day.
I had feared as much.
There are certain elixirs which can ease the suffering of those afflicted by the curse, but his grace's case is severe. The drafts I have been able to prepare for him thus far have ceased to have any real effect. So I consulted with Talia and certain of my comrades among the Undying about the possibility of finding something stronger. And thankfully, a recipe was found. The only problem being that the critical ingredient is exceptionally hard to come by, and our supplies are almost exhausted. Unless we can secure more soon, your brother's anguish will likely become unbearable. My lord, I know that I have no right to make demands of you. But would you help? For Joshua's sake.
For Joshua? Anything.
Thank you, my lord.
So, what is this critical ingredient?
A rare herb by the name of stonerwort. It grows only where the ether is densest. The vigor it stores in its stems helps to counteract the curse. We discovered a patch near the aqueduct in Rosaria. But alas, yet more ether has erupted from the earth there recently, leaving the whole area flooded. The search continues for a new source. One that we might reach without being turned.
So it's only that you can't reach it? The stonerwort itself is unharmed by the flood?
Well, yes.
Then I shall go in your stead.
But...
You've yet to find another source, correct? Besides...
Well, stonerwort is easy. I shall remain here.
Come on.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Here's the aqueduct. Now to find our stonerwort. Yote mentioned blood-red petals. Just my luck. Well, I won't be picking anything till they're gone. There's There's only one thing for it. Nice try. Here it is. Better collect as much as I can before reinforcements arrive. All right. That should do it.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
Yote.
I'm sure it will serve us, and
I'm very glad to hear.
you and His Grace are very much alike. You know, you think only of how you might help others, and never of the danger to yourselves.
No more than you have minding my brother. You've risked a lot for him, and I thank you for it.
I am honored that you should say so. But I beg you, my lord, do not give too much of yourself for the sake of others. We could not afford to lose you.
I'll keep that in mind.
How do you split the sea?
Whatever business you have here, see to it quickly, brother. We are expected at Drake's Spine.
I suppose you've got quite the tale to tell. But I'll let you get some nice warm stew in you first, before I go bothering you for the details.
Twinside's hundreds of leagues away. That would mean the crystal is massive.
There's something about it. I feel like it's calling to me.
Ah, Clive. Of course. Another time.
First the skies, then the crystal. What next? The advent of Great Griga herself. I'm sure we'll be fine.
Please, your grace. Ah, my Lord Marquis.
For Joshua. So.
We just.
So it.
Well.
Then you.
What I.
Come on. Run like the wind. Here's the aqueduct. Now to find our stone wart. Yote mentioned blood-red petals. I won't be picking anything till they're gone. There's only one thing for it. Get him! Help me, boy. Here it is. Better collect as much as I can before reinforcements arrive. All right. That should do it.
There's something about it. I feel like it's...
Yote.
Yes, my lord. I'm sure it will serve us.
I'm very glad.
You and His Grace are very much alike. You think only of how you might...
Clive.
Joshua, what's wrong?
I've received word from
His will.
in the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, and in the process of doing so...
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Sir.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I'm ready to leave when you are. Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous. Cyril, you found a letter from Father? Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of? His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival. He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime. But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
My lord, Your Grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn...
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty.
My lady, what exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts were...
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, but with his grace long since gone. You are grown men now. And while I would not presume to insist, I know that
Thank you.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. It is found in the bellies of Elder Grey. We do at least know where to find one.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive. In fact, this is the... Were you to slay it in...
What say you, Josh?
What else? Titan's Wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed. It's already.
Yes.
How are those new boots treating you?
They're fantastic. Soft as phoenix down, but tough as boiled bone.
Careful how you pack that leather. Any creases or scratches.
Fly, Ambrosia.
eyes peeled, Joshua.
There it is.
For House Rossfield.
Too slow.
Too slow. Nice try. Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goritha will know.
Thank the Founder you the Griffin is slain then.
And the Heartstone claim.
Yes, this radiant light. Thank you, your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me. The armbands are complete. Pray. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than Garnet. And the graven vines encircling the stone.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever...
And only if we stood together.
Indeed. His Grace knew, but this was more than... It was a promise.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he... In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewellery be sent away from the castle. I tried to warn your father when word of the fire reached Rob.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete, and so my pursuit He informed me that his Grace's will had been recovered.
Lady Goditha.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord, for coming back to us. For giving my...
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to...
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to let him see that you have...
I suppose it would be... What do you say, Clive?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has since the day we recovered it from... I prithee, claim it. For it too is... And I do not doubt that your father would...
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
Ready, go?
Yeah! Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies? Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. Mother was truly capable. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him. Joshua, I read your message. I don't think I'd realized how...
I suppose it's not...
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her, to let her know that we still need her. But how to do that?
Of course. And Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Man's Hill.
To see the snow daisies, I remember. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boys combing the countryside.
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made it halfway there. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us.
Then it seems you and Jill have a...
Man's Hill.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria remain...
You're saying I should go and scout the area for bandits?
I'm saying we... What would you do without me, Clive?
This is the place, but...
I'm sorry, Clive.
Has nowhere been spared. What do we do now?
We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only place where snow daisies grow.
Perhaps, but... it's the only place I know of. Knew of.
Then why not ask someone who might know of another?
Someone in the backyard? To the hideaway, then. Let's hope one of the gardeners knows where to find snow daisies.
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen our... This should tide us over until the new moon.
Oh. What brings you down from the heavens, Sid?
I need your advice. Joshua and I are looking for a place where snow daisies grow. Preferably in abundance.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too hot and not too cold. And where the winds are strong enough to carry the seeds. I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. Both have similar climbs and the right elevation. If the Blight hasn't claimed...
Right. Thank you.
Did you learn where we might find our flowers?
The gardener here mentioned the royal meadows in Sambrek.
Ah, the fields beyond Northreach. Well, if that's the case, then Yote was right. I recalled that she kept the record of our travels, you see. So I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew, And she mentioned Oilerfeist Bay.
Whose shores border the meadows.
The High Cardinal.
The Dominion's all but done for.
That's what I heard.
And it's lucky we stayed here.
Was that shouting I heard from the barracks?
Could be trouble again.
Do you think he was the only one who survived?
Come on. The meadows are vast. Where do we even start?
Yote mentioned the coastline. We can start there.
Look, brother. You see them? I do. The flowers and our friends.
Let darkness fall!
What do you see, boy? Let's hope this is the last one.
Only one way to find out.
Nice try. That was harder than I expected. But found her. It was worth it.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the skies. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
Jill, there's something I'd like to show you.
There is? And where might this something be?
It's, not here. How would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. The smile on your face is enough. We've been worried about you. Joshua and I. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill? Or tried to?
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into. But I couldn't bear to see you like that.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best. I felt so trapped. So lonely.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling. Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized that no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
I don't know. Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
I never was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive. For this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure. We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
And we'll do it together.
Still alive, are you? I don't know many...
Is something the matter, Karen? You seem... perturbed.
Do I now? How clever of you to notice. But yes, something's come to my attention.
Go on.
It's probably quicker if I just show you. Here.
Some sort of crystal. Though, I don't remember seeing one that colour before.
Aye, well, that makes two of us. In all my long years of trading, both over and under the counter, I've never seen anything quite like it. They're calling them dusk crystals, on account of colour.
I see. And they could be used to cast magics.
That they can. Just like their brighter, shinier cousins. Difference is, they don't last as long. After a couple of goes lighting your pipe, they crumble away to nothing. That's how I heard about them. From crystal traders moaning that someone's been flooding the market with dodgy goods. And after asking the right people the right questions, and paying the right price, of course, I managed to get my hands on a sample.
I see why you're perturbed.
Hey up. Do you feel that, Clive?
Yes.
All right, lads, that'll do for today. I said that'll do for today.
Yes, Chief. Yes, Chief.
Let's get this lot back to town, fill our purses and then our bellies. What did you two do now?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Please tell us you bought another lantern.
Stay calm, both of you. Who needs a lantern when you've got one of these? All that work for a single spark. Well, there'll be no more sampling the merchandise today.
That sounded close, Chief. Really close. Really, really close.
Now, lads, what am I always telling you? Good things come to those who run!
Wait for us, Chief!
I've never felt a tremor this far inland before.
Me neither. But then, I'd never seen skies like these till a few moons ago, and it's been all change ever since. Come to think of it, the first anyone ever heard of these dust crystals was after you lot came back from the Dominion and brought this bloody weather with you.
Do you think the two things are connected?
Who knows? Could just be that with Drake's tail gone, the black market was running short of the good stuff. The Dominion's mines were the only source of new shards left in Storm after a certain evil outlaw decided to do away with the other mothers. And with the price of decent crystals going through the roof, traders turned to dealing in stuff they'd never have touched before.
The question is, who's selling these crystals and where are they? Wait. This color. They couldn't be from Origin, could they? No, that wouldn't make sense. I saw it form in the sky, and that was long after we returned from the Dominion. But if they didn't come from Origin or any of the other mother crystals, then... does that mean...
that you missed one? Aye. That were my thinking, any road. Another mother crystal we didn't know about.
I'll speak with Joshua. If you're right about this, we need to find it.
And quick, I'd say. On account of which, I'll take this shard over to Tomes for you. Get him to give it a once-over.
Right.
And I expect you'll be wanting Jill's help with this, too.
Right again. I will. Let me go and find Joshua, and we'll meet you in the shelves.
What are you still doing here? Go on, then. It'd better all be here.
What do you want? That it? I'm fine.
Joshua, we need to talk. Karen's caught wind of something that I don't think we can afford to ignore.
Aye. That is troubling. Not least because the Undying made no mention of these dusk crystals in any of their recent reports.
So they weren't aware of them either?
Perhaps. Or perhaps they merely deemed them unworthy of my attention. Wrongly, I might add, for I am inclined to share Lady Karen's misgivings.
Then we'd better take her advice.
To the shelves, then.
Let's hope so.
There you are. I've taken the liberty of telling these two everything I told you.
Thank you, Karen.
It's hard to believe such a lusterless shard could conjure much of anything. And you truly think this came from a mother crystal? One we never knew existed?
Every other shard in the Twins did. Why should these dusk crystals be any different? dim though they may be.
We know they first appeared on the black market shortly after Ultima cast Primogenesis, darkening the skies. So might the two be connected? Could the spell have created a new Mother Crystal, perhaps? A replacement for the ones we destroyed?
What do you think, Harpocrates?
I think there may well be a connection. Yet, if we are to believe that the original Mother Crystals were of Ultima's making, does it seem likely that he would have need of anything so palpably inferior? No. I hazard that it was not Ultima who created these crystals, but humanity. More specifically, our fallen forebears, whose wonders litter the land even now. Legend holds that the fallen challenged the gods in order to win their power, and came tantalizingly close to doing so. It seems only reasonable that they should wish to learn the secrets of the crystals which the gods bestowed upon them.
So they could make their own.
Precisely. You may recall that the tale of the sins of Zemeckis begins with the Colloquy of the Sages, a council wherein humanity sought to uncover the last secrets of the gods before waging their war to learn what little remained. It is perfectly possible that an understanding of how to craft crystals was among their many achievements.
Among their many achievements, prior to their fall.
Indeed. The same enlightened souls forged great and terrible weapons called the iconoclasts, from which icons derived their name, and turned them against each other in the Magitech War. A pointless conflict which served only to make its victors more confident of their right to supplant the gods on high. And when at last they ventured to do so, the resultant imbalance in the ether is said to have been so great that the skies themselves turned black and began to boil. Which brings us back to the matter at hand.
There's only one way to know for sure. We track down whoever's selling them and find their source. Karen, where did you buy this one?
Down in Port Isolde when I was scratching around for supplies. Since the Imperials buggered off and took the tariffs with them, you can find all sorts of interesting stuff. Go and have a chat with the mercenaries guarding the gate. Oh, and take the crystal with you.
Thank you. I will.
Shall we then, brother?
I'm coming too. If there is another Mother Crystal out there and it's anything like the others, you'll need all the help you can get.
I was hoping you'd say that. One more time, then.
Samuel, slow down! Not bloody likely!
Fuck me. They're fast on their feet. What's going on here, I wonder?
What indeed? Let's ask.
Excuse me. Who were those men just now?
Bloody troublemakers, that's who. As soon as I asked them to present their packs for inspection, they turned white as a sheet and legged it. I chased them all away from the gates, but they're swift as hares. Still, at least we kept the bastards out. Don't need their kind stirring up any more strife.
And what manner of strife have they been stirring up, exactly?
Hey? Are you joking? This business with the crystals?
Sorry, we've been away for a while. What's been going on?
All right, I'll humor you. After the paltry rations the Imperials left behind dried up, folks started trading crystals out in the open. We turned a blind eye at first. Lord Byron's orders. Way he saw it, it weren't right to deny people the one thing they were all clamoring for. Till the dust started turning up, that is. Dusk crystals, they're called. Ill-favoured shards that crack as soon as you look at them. Not that the folk who bought them by the bucket load knew that. In the end, his lordship had to step in and ban the blasted things. And we've been searching the pack of every trader who's darkened our gates ever since.
I see. And you think the men you were pursuing might have been trading in these dusk crystals?
Why, you're in the market for some. Anyway, I wouldn't rule it out. In fact, I'd put a few gil on it.
We might still be able to catch them.
We might.
If you are heading up that way, you want to keep your sword handy. There's more than dodgy traders plying the roads these days.
Understood. We'll be careful.
If those men were selling dusk crystals, I think it's unlikely that they will risk returning to Port Isolde.
Which means this might be our only chance of catching them.
Ready, go? Faster!
Where are they?
Still some distance ahead, I'd wager. They were making a good pace.
Yeah!